So here's how you pronounce Changli. Think of encore, and then you combine the ch sound from chirp, ch, with the en sound from encore, an, and then add a li, Changli, 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 Changli. See, it's pretty close, right? Encore. Changli. Okay, this isn't a pronunciation video. Hello everyone, this is Sweetly, and I wanted to make a quick video going over Changli's core mechanics, rotation, build, and some fun combo tips. Her kit is really versatile with lots of different combo, swap, and cancel potential, and it's been really fun playing her. Changli's main mechanic revolves around her Enflamement stacks. Each stack lights up one section of her Forte gauge, and when she gets 4 stacks, the entire bar lights up and she can unleash a big AoE nuke with her next heavy attack. It's not as big as her Grand Magistrates, but it looks pretty cool. All of Changli's attacks look pretty cool. She passed on all of her learnings to Jinhsi after all. Changli has 2 ways of obtaining Enflamement stacks. Enflamement stacks. Changli has 2 ways of obtaining Enflamement stacks. True sight attacks give 1 each, and her ultimate immediately gives 4 and fills up the bar. True sight attacks are specific attacks that can only be used while she is in her true sight state. Changli enters the true sight state after using the 4th hit of her basic attack, her resonance skill, or when you proc her intro skill. You'll know she has true sight when her buff icon lights up here, and visually her hair also lights up and her ribbons catch on fire. If you remember from one of my previous videos, Changli also has 4 different variations of her outfit, depending on how many Enflamement stacks she has. I like all the little touches. After Changli enters True Sight, she can choose between 2 possible attacks, the Ground Slam or the Phoenix Charge. If she is on the ground, her next basic attack becomes True Sight Conquest, the Ground Slam version, where she dashes to the enemy and slams the ground in 3 places. She can actually track the enemy from a pretty far distance and dash over. If she is in the air, or if you press jump while on the ground, she will execute True Sight Charge, the Phoenix version, where she actually turns into a phoenix and charges upwards. This attack deals damage to the enemies below and appears to have just as good tracking as the ground version. Changli gains 1 Enflamement stack as soon as either of these True Sight attacks hit an enemy, and then she also exits the True Sight state. So you can only use 1 True Sight attack per True Sight state. If the attack misses, she will not get an Enflamement stack, but she will still exit the state. One nice thing though, even if you swap off after getting True Sight and then swap back onto her, Changli will still have her True Sight, so you don't actually need to use her attack immediately. The general idea behind Changli's rotation is to use her basic attack combo, skill, and intro to enter True Sight, gain Enflamement stacks via her True Sight attacks, and then execute her Forte heavy attack. Ideally, you use her ultimate for the +4 stacks when she has no stacks, since she can only have 4 stacks max. Her typical rotation will look something like this, where you intro into her 1st stack, use her basic attack combo to get her 2nd stack, and then her 2 skill charges for the remaining 2. After you get 4 stacks, you can use her Forte heavy, and then use ultimate for the 4 stacks and then Forte heavy again. You'll want around 120 to 130 ER for Changli to ultimate every rotation. Around 60 to 70% of her total damage will be considered resonant skill damage, since both of her True Sight attacks and her Forte heavy attack both count as resonant skill damage in addition to her actual resonant skill. If we add up the coefficient multipliers, this rotation is around 5000%, which is pretty good for a main DPS. Slightly lower than Jinhsi's, but Jinhsi is our Grand Magistrate after all, and she has a bit more of a fixed rotation. Set-wise, you'll want 5-piece fusion. Fusion damage bonus 3 cost preferred, but you can use attack percent if you don't have any good ones. Ideally, Changli uses a quick cast echo, but there aren't really any great ones on the fusion set, so I will likely still use the rider. I wish there was a fusion drip. For her weapon, the signature gives about 15% more damage versus the 5-star sword, which isn't as huge a damage difference as Jinhsi and her signature. And given that the standard 5-star sword gives crit rate and ER, I would say it's mostly sufficient unless you want to max your Changli's damage. Her sequences are also a bit lackluster compared to our previous limited characters. Her S2 is nice for the extra 25% crit rate, but it's not necessary, and her S6 is much weaker comparatively to both Jinhsi and Yinlin. Forte-wise, I would heavily prioritize her skill and Forte, and then ultimate, after which I would level the basic and intro. Some fun combos and tips. So Changli has two types of basic 4-hit combos, one that can be cast from the ground and one that can be cast mid-air. Changli's heavy attack, when cast on the ground, launches her into the air, and when cast mid-air, it plunges her down. Though you can always cancel the plunge once with dodge mid-air to continue your aerial combo. Any dashes during her ground basic attack combo will cancel her combo chain, but in the air it will not, probably because you can only dodge once in the air. One really nice thing though is that Changli's dodge counter counts as her basic attack 3, so whenever you dodge an enemy attack, after the dodge counter, you can directly go into her basic attack 4 and enter true sight. Also, since her heavy attack counts as the first 2 hits of her basic attack, another thing you can do is use your heavy attack on the ground, go into the air, and then after just 2 more attacks, you'll get your true sight. Similarly, whenever you execute her mid-air heavy attack and plunge down, you can directly go into her 3rd and 4th basic for another true sight, as long as you don't dodge in between. The second part is actually pretty handy because being able to skip your first 2 basics after a plunge means that you can use her true sight charge, the Phoenix version, for free plunges to gain enflamement stacks a bit quicker. In comparison, training true sight grounds will be slightly slower, but it deals a bit more damage, and it's also nicer for quick swaps, since your other characters don't usually want to be mid-air while you're swapping into them. In terms of quick swaps, her true sight attacks, her resonant skill, and her Forte heavy attack all have longer animations that are great to swap off of after casting. For her Forte heavy attack specifically, if you have Changli's ultimate up, you can use her ultimate to cancel the backswing of the first Forte and then swap off for the second one. If we add in all the swaps, assuming you're playing with Encore, you can probably swap after each of these points. After you trigger her intro skill, you use her true sight air, plunge down, basic 3, basic 4, use Inferno Rider, swap off after the 3rd hit, Encore E, swap back, use her true sight ground on Changli, swap back to Encore to finish her skill, swap back to Changli to use her skill. I think you get the idea. While it is fun swapping around, I think it is also easy to get lost. So alternatively, you could also just play Changli main on field, or Changli solo. Another cool thing you can do with Changli is, similar to Sanhua, you can pre-buffer her heavy attack while she is casting True Sight Ground. So while you're casting True Sight Conquest, press down your normal attack, and then if you press jump right after, you'll immediately execute her mid-air heavy attack plunge. And then the plunge lets you directly go into basic 3 and 4, and then you can do another True Sight Ground, into another plunge, into basic 3 and 4. This combo looks pretty cool, right? But it's actually not faster than the True Sight charge into the plunge combo. Lastly, I'll leave off with some other random fun knowledge about Changli. Changli is a pretty insane miner. Her 1 basic can destroy all the wars, and her 1 skill can destroy an entire colony of wars. Changli can parry with her basics pretty well, even her True Sight attacks can parry. Also, and this part, as long as you have stamina, Changli can keep climbing and climbing by looping her aerial combo into True Sight charge, and between the character swaps and the grappling hooks, you can eventually climb as high as your stamina dictates. Oops! I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, as it helps my channel a lot. See you on stream or in my next video. To those of you who haven't pulled Changli yet, good luck on your Changli pulls. She is a bit weaker than Jinhsi in terms of damage, but she is cooler.